Hi there. I just picked up some lovely fresh strawberries and so I thought I would make some quick shortcakes to go with them. So I thought I would show you the recipe that I use. So in my bowl I've got 2 cups of flour. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I am going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now I like mine quite sweet, so if you don't like yours as sweet, then just use 1 tablespoon. And then I'm also going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I'm going to whisk that all together in my bowl, just like that. And then I'm going to just sort of whisk a little bit of a well into the middle. And I'm going to add to that 3 tablespoons of cold butter. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of shortening. And now what I need to do is cut the butter into the butter and the shortening into the flour. So I don't have a pastry cutter, so I'm just going to use 2 knives, and you're just going to cross them back and forth like this, and so you're kind of cutting the butter and shortening into the flour. So I'm going to keep doing this until it becomes small little sort of pea-sized bits of butter in my flour. Okay, so that is my butter and shortening cut into my flour mixture, and as you can see there's just sort of a few little crumbs texture kind of with pea-sized bits of the butter and everything still in there. And so to that I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. Now you can use cream for this, you can use half and half, or you can use regular milk. It's entirely up to you. I prefer using buttermilk. It gives it a little bit of a sort of a nicer tartness to it that I quite like, especially with using the couple tablespoons of sugar. So I'm just going to use a fork and whisk this all around. So it's just starting to sort of hold together, and I'm just going to tip it out on my work surface. And I'm just going to gather it into a dough and give it a couple kneads to just make sure that it's all mixed in there. You don't want to do too much mixing of this, because you want to leave it so that you still get your nice, light, fluffy shortcakes. There we go. So that's sort of incorporated enough. So you can roll this out onto the counter and cut out your shortbread. I find that I'm quite happy, just as long as it doesn't get stuck to the counter, I'm quite happy to just sort of pat it out. Now I've left it sort of 3/4 of an inch, sort of half to 3/4 to even an inch, depending on how thick you want your shortcakes. And with this, I'm just going to cut them roughly into squares. You can use a round cutter if you'd like round, or you can cut it in any shape you want. So I'm just going to cut it loosely like this. And then I'm going to pop it onto a baking tray and bake it for at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. I'm just looking for them to turn a nice light golden brown. The other thing you can do is add a bit of melted butter or milk to the top of these. Just brush over and sprinkle some sugar on the top that way if you'd rather not incorporate it in, or if you like that nice sort of shiny, crusty, sugary bit on the top. So I'm just doing little ones. Obviously you can do whatever size you want. You can do nice big squares. You can divide the dough into 4 if you want. But I'm going to bake mine like that, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're done. So these are my lovely shortcakes out of the oven. They have just a nice little golden top to them. They'll be a little bit shiny and have the sugar on the top if that's what you decided to do. But I really like just the plain sort of lovely shortcakes as is. So if I just open one of those up, they're nice and soft and fluffy on the inside. And I'm just going to let them cool a little bit longer before I add my cream and my strawberries. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to see what else I'm up to. Thanks again.